Alright, so this is going to be chapter 3.3, subtraction of whole numbers, and we're going to be using the counting up algorithm to solve our equations. So first off, I'm going to start with a simple 2-digit minus 2-digit problem. So I'm going to start with 89 minus 57. Now obviously you could use standard subtraction to solve this problem, but we're going to go ahead and use counting up algorithm just to try to give a different way of thinking for your brain. So basically counting up is saying you want to take your bottom number and add to it to get to your top number, which is 89. So what do I add to 57 to hit 89? So first I'm going to start with doing just 57 by numbers that make me feel more comfortable with this first number, because 57 is kind of an odd number. So I'm going to add 3 because I know that 3 will get me to 60. And 60 is a much more manageable number and nicer looking number than 57 was in the first place. So now we have 60, so we still have a ways to go to 89. Well, I know that 60 plus 20 will get me 80, which is very close to 89. So I'm almost there. And last thing I have to do is I have to get to 89. So I'm going to do 80 plus 9. And this finally gets me to my problem, my answer here. So now what I have to do is I have to add up all of my partial additions to get to the final answer to my problem. So I know that 3 plus 9 equals 12. And then I have 20, which gets me 32. So the answer to my problem is 32. And that's how we can do it counting up. So let's try it again. Let's go ahead and use a larger number this time to try out the problem. And I'm going to quickly flip, sorry about this, to a clean page. So now we're going to use the number 250 minus 37. So in traditional subtraction, you would have to take the 10 or the 0 and borrow from the next place, make this a 4, and then subtract that way and keep going. And that's a little bit complicated, and sometimes kids don't quite understand it. So we're going to go ahead and just try the counting up method with this problem. All right. So again, the goal is to create to add to 37 to get to 250. So we don't know what the answer to this problem is. We don't know what we have to add to 37, but we can get there. So 37, again, is like an odd number. So we're going to go ahead and add 3 to get to 40. So we're still a ways away. So I'm going to take my 40 and add, I know I can add at least 200 to it. It gives me 240. So I'm almost there, just 10 away. So 240 plus 10. All right, so I finally got to my answer that I was looking for, so now I got to circle all my partial products. So I have 200, 10, and 3, which is kind of nice because it's just the value of their digits. So I come out with 213 as my answer. Now these partial products are very important. We have to add all of them together because that's how each piece got to the 250. And again, this is a great idea for kids who don't exactly understand the concept of subtraction, that you're taking away that amount from the larger number. This brings it back to addition, which is sometimes a little bit easier. If I have 2 cookies and my friend gives me 3 cookies, then I have 5 cookies, rather than I have 5 cookies and I gave my friend 2 and now I have 3. So it kind of just puts it in a different perspective for the kids. And so these numbers might be a little bit more manageable because they're getting to familiar numbers from there. So that is counting up subtraction.